Hi, my name is Toby, and in 2019 I inherited an abandoned 248,000 square metre farm in the northwest corner of Tenerife, inside the Tenor National Park. I'm now clearing 50,000 square metres of overgrowth, restoring a 100-year-old farm building, rediscovering 200,000 square metres of virgin forest, and setting up the location for a self-sustainable lifestyle centre where parents can send their teenagers to discover how their grandparents lived 100 years ago in a modern, eco-friendly, off-grid homestead while they star in their own YouTube reality TV show. Here they will find out about solar and wind energy, discover how water is sourced naturally, how to domesticate farm animals, plant, grow and harvest crops, and also enjoy outside pursuits such as hiking, climbing, mountain biking, nature watching and stargazing. And all this in one of the best climates of the world. Follow our journey from the very start as we begin and develop this adventure, a massive project to bring useful purpose to this abandoned land. Become an active part of our dream to bring a sustainable lifestyle to this place of outstanding natural beauty. We are the Buenavista Rural Club. Old ways, new paths. Hello and welcome to this video from the Buenavista Rural Club. And this week I'm very pleased to introduce you to a friend, a new friend of the farm. Alan, welcome to the Buenavista Rural Club. I don't want you to imagine that we've slowed down in the development or the building of the farm, because we haven't. But today I'd like to just take a moment to reflect upon just how beautiful our surroundings are.
See the wall crumbling away here. Very bad state. Gonna have to come down. That yellow stuff on the top is some filler that I put into a crack in there so as to stop the water from pouring through when it rained. Of course, we're now not in rainy season, so none of that to worry about now. The picture is being held together by mud. You see the mud and stones. So today, the day has arrived. We're taking down the wall at the back. We've got Omar, and we've got Samuel, and our good friend Pedrito, who was here doing the cement. So we can see the rocks coming down one by one, and the cement going down here. I'll put you on a time lapse. And that's there really just to hold the wall together for when we take off this bit. So we've finished putting in the RSJs here in the doorway. There it is. Hooked up from the other side. So this is welded up here and there, and it will be screwed to the wall there next time, and the other side. And we're repairing the wall which fell away up top, and we also finished taking down that part of the wall there, up there, and putting concrete along the top ridge. Alan, what's your last name?
Prudhomme.
Prudhomme.
Yeah,
I know it's Alan P. I know you as, but
strange French name.
Same as me, Ballion.
But I'm from Yorkshire.
You're from Yorkshire?
Yeah.
Oh, what part?
Whitby on the east coast. Nice seaside resort with the best fish and chips in England, I would say, personally. Yeah.
So here we are. We're in the top part of the farm here. I've ventured with Alan, who enjoys hiking and mountain biking and various outdoor activities and pursuits, and I think probably I can feel more or less at home with him because probably have the a similar level of fitness, and we can come up and share a bit of a walk up here.
Yeah.
So we've come in about, what, 150 yards, 150 meters, something like that, into the forest,
Yeah.
and have come to a dead end, really. I mean, the road here now is overgrown.
There's a good path on the lower slopes, but this does actually look like it continues as a
Yes, the path would go
We'll
up.
have to explore it.
Yeah,
Find out.
the path would go up here. But I have not walked this far into this wood ever. And I'm not sure that many people have in the last few decades. So we're walking somewhere where people haven't been, which is quite amazing. The type of woods that we're actually walking into is Laura Silva, and that's very much like the other end of the island, the Anaga woods. Here you can see that there's a sort of like a clearing, so the vegetation has grown much higher here, but then, right, we come back into...
It's actually an overgrown section.
It's just an overgrown section of a pathway, which also proves there's been no vehicles through here in, well, a long time. Have we explored from the gate downwards to the road?
Beyond,
Yes.
below the road, and
Yes, you can walk down that way.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where Nobby and I got lost in the woods.
Oh, okay.
Trying to find the way from the lower bit that we went to, up.
Up the right. So that route.
Trying to find the route up,
Right.
and that's where we got lost.
Okay.
And
So this is completely new to you then, this route, is it?
this route, I've never been here before.
Right.
Yeah, this is completely new. And all of this is what I'm planning to open up to the public. Well, the paying public, let's say. Allowing them to come up here and explore in the Buenavista Rural Club. And of course, on this private land, being private land, I think they'll be allowed to cycle. They'll be able to mountain bike, which they can't do on the rural park. Cycling's forbidden.
I'd say there's at least a division here to the right of the route that we've been following. Small path onwards
Going up
and upwards.
to the left.
To explore it, there might even be a path downwards as well through the trees.
From what you've seen this morning, obviously I've shown you around the bottom part of the farm, and I've shown you up the routes, and now here in the woods. What do you think?
It's a very interesting place you've got here, and for my personal interests, I really like the woods and the possibilities of exploring this area. I think, again, from my individual perspective, I think that would be the most interesting thing for me to be involved with you. House I thought was interesting as well, but it's I can see there's a lot of graft there left for you to do. And,
That's work. Craft is
as you
work.
had in your last video, work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be worth it in the long run, but there's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah. It'll be a base. That's the idea, is that there'll be a base camp.
Yeah, and that is something you obviously, if you want to develop this, you need a base, and it has a fair size as well, and I don't know, it's potential to be developed.
Okay.
For a base. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about this watch that you have and how it tracks our geo position and what you can do with it afterwards.
Okay, well, it's a Garmin GPS watch. Nothing really special about it, except that you know, it is a reasonably good quality one, and it will record effectively a breadcrumb route of where we've walked. So at the end of the day, I can download it to say an iPad or a laptop and retrace the route we followed. I can plot that on things like Google Earth, or there are other mapping sources available, and it will give a pretty accurate track, plus or minus 5 or 6 meters, I would say, on average, of the route we followed. Certainly good enough to follow the route again, so you've got a permanent record of it.
So it'll give us a chance to track some of the walkways,
For example, the walkways,
the trekking ways.
We can map out every single one of the easily accessible routes. Maybe we can track some of the less inaccessible ones as well. If they're we come to a dead end, we can mark it as a dead end, and then you can maybe put a sign up saying "Don't go this way" or something like that. So it can be useful from that point of view.
We could also geolocate various features, like for instance that hidden face that we found in the rocks. So if you look at it, you can see a face quite clearly.
Yeah. Any geographical feature or building or interesting tree or location for animals, you can tie that down again to a few meters, and it's a permanent record then that you can publish, and people can come back to that spot.
Okay, so we've been breadcrumbing everything this morning. Have you, since you entered the farm? Since you left the house.
Yeah.
So what we'll be doing is in the video we can show a bit of the actual trekking that we've been doing and the area that we've been covering.
Yeah.
We can presumably do that as a map, and we can also do that as a satellite, can we?
We can do a satellite image of the route, and say there's the mapping, a free mapping source called OpenStreetMap, which is quite good. You can plot it on that. It's quite easy to see. It looks a bit more like Google Maps, and it covers rural areas as well. Satellite image is okay because it's a rural area, but places like Google Maps won't show any level of detail that's worth having because they're just interested in roads. But there are off-road maps, mapping sources we can use. Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, let me say hello to June and Alan, who've come up today to do a bit of hiking and walking around the farm.
Not me.
No,
like.
you've come to have a look at the wildlife.
Yes.
Jolly good.
Exactly.
And really just do some chilling here on the farm, which is great. Alan came up the other day, as we saw the other day, and June has commented several times on the YouTube channel, and so they're YouTube subscribers who have come into reality, which is fantastic. And that's what I'd like more of you to do. I'd like more of you YouTubers to actually become real people here at the farm, enjoying all of the wonders that we have of nature wonders. And I'm sure that you wouldn't mind telling me a little bit about what you've experienced today a little bit later on when you're back.
Well, I'll tell you now, gorgeous poppies, red poppies along the roadside there. Just beautiful.
It's the time of year for the poppy.
Yeah.
It is. But every season brings different types of flowers and vegetation here.
Yeah.
The road up to the upper woods. As you can see, bicycles are allowed but not cars. Priority to pedestrians. This is the route down to Las Lagunas and the El Palmar. No bikes, unfortunately. The road you can see on the right is the one I've just come down. This is the start of the Laurel Silver, and if you pan around, this is where I came in. And the far distance you can see the road down from Muscat. This is the start of the walk, and you can see the trusty steed, the electric bike, locked to the gate at the entrance. Nice avenue, you can see the path leading up through the Laurel Vista forest. Fairly unique to this section of the island. This is the little glade where Toby and myself got to on our last walk. Beautiful in the sunlight today, and because of the shading from the trees it's actually not too hot. I don't know whether you could see there, but the path divides. There's one path here going upwards and to the left, and another one going slightly to the right. It looks more prominent, so I'll follow that route. This was the path up, and you can see it opens out. There's a distinct path to the right and a distinct path to the left. I followed the left path, which is I think a dry stream, and maybe next time I'll try the path to the right, which also looks like another dry stream where it's divided. It was a steady climb, and then I came to a junction at what looked like two dry riverbeds. I took the left fork, kept going uphill steadily, and then arrived at this nice little glade, which is where I'm going to stop for today because of the time available.
Through the fields of our past, feelings not always keeping us close, but are strange now. Dreams holding us closer, meadows of our youth, 107 days, but recalling it backwards. Our dreams holding us closer. Ooh, we can see so clear. Ooh, we can see so clear. And you are shades of grey, living day to day. Even when we're free, it's true, the difference is the same. The colors always change, but the song is the same now. In June, lifting us higher. Ooh, we can see so clear. Ooh, we can see so clear. Ooh, we can see so clear. Ooh, we can see
So at the end of today, we've put down a concrete base on top of the, and that's there really just to hold the wall together for when we take off this bed. So we've finished putting in the RSJs here in the doorway.